Assalamu alaikum dear students. In this lecture we are going to study about the lexical and functional phrases. So that is another aspect of syntax. So the lecture outline is we are going to study about the lexical phrase, what are lexical phrases, the functional phrases, and we are going to do some more practice on the tree diagrams that are related to the phrase structure grammar. So let's begin towards the lecture. Lexical phrase. So what is a lexical phrase and how it is developed? For the lexical phrase, the word first mentioned in 1975 by Becker, and then according to Nettinger and the Carrico 1992, the lexical phrases are multi-word chunks of language. So you know that phrases are the chunks of language that this contains multi-words, 1, 2 word, 3 word, 4 word, a multi-word chunks of language varying length that run on a continuum from fixed phrases. Like we have some fixed phrases in English language, so the writer in either in writing or in conversation used those phrases to make their point more clearer. So these are basically called the lexical phrases. Like we have many phrases in the English language, like we have in a nutshell. So in a nutshell is a fixed phrase, and that is a lexical phrase, and that is used to convey a proper meaning. And we say spontaneously, like in a nutshell, in either in spoken conversation or in written conversation, the writers use the lexical phrases to make their points clear. Okay. Then the second example is the purpose of this essay is to, like, the writers may write in their piece of writing, like the purpose of this essay is to this, like this is a simple phrase, like the purpose of this essay is to. So is to is a verb, and then we have like we use in general. An example of this is, so these are the fixed phrases which are used by the writer. So these type of phrases are termed as lexical phrases. These phrases signal the intentions of the author and frame our expectations of what is to come. Like these phrases signals the intentions of the author, of the speaker. Like when the speaker says on the contrary, like we say, we get an idea, like the something should be about that, which is something about the contrast. All this says is there is much more to say on that, but on to it's worth mentioning that to sum up, like when a writer writes or when a speaker says to sum up, this means the writer or the speaker is going to conclude the idea or the any topic. So these are the signal phrases that gives the readers that about the intentions of the author, that what the author or what the speaker are going to do further. Like if the speaker says on the contrary, means the speaker or the writer is going to tell about the contrast of something, about the opposite of something. It's worth mentioning, that means something that is mentioning after that is like having some importance. So this is all about the lexical phrases. So you can find many of these fixed phrases which we use in our daily life conversation or in writing. That are the fixed phrases we use, and these are termed as the lexical phrases. Now moving towards the functional phrase, that what the functional phrase is. The functional phrases are those phrases which are used to perform certain actions or functions by the name functional. These phrases are used to perform certain functions, or when these are the fixed phrases when we have to perform some action. So now I am going to explain what are the functional phrases with the help of an example. These phrases may be utilized spontaneously as well as when you, this is the example of a child, as well as when you see your child attempting to request something. When a child attempts to request something, reach for something, stop playing with a toy, when he wants to end a specific activity, or when eating. So you want to set up communicative attempts with him, watch what he does and make all activities into a conversation or learning experience. Try to build upon what he is doing. So when a small child starts speaking, the child does not know how to make a complete sentence or a clause. He speaks in phrases or in chunks of words. So those type of words that are used by the child or by his mother or father or his caretaker in response to a child's action, that are not necessary to a child. This is the just example of a child. When some other may use such type of phrases, so those type of phrases when we use to request something, to reach for something, when we are used to in an action, in response to an action, these types of fixed phrases or words are the functional phrases. For example, if you know that he needs help, model the phrase help me. So help me is a phrase, is an action, like I need a help, that is performing the function of taking in help, requesting someone. If he wants another cookie, like it's all the example of a child, if he wants another cookie, say more cookie or give me cookie. If he stops playing with a toy, tries to walk away or pushes away toy, say all done ball or bye bye ball. Like if your child stops playing with a toy like a ball, so you may say like all done ball, all done with the ball, or bye bye ball. So these type of phrases are the functional phrases. When requesting, when you actually request like give me or help me, desired object or food, like then when you are protesting no more specific action, like when you say give me, that is playing a function that you need something, you are requesting something, and helping, you are requesting for help. And protest, when you are protesting, like you do not want another action to be done, you say no more, you just simply say no more. This is a fixed phrase, that is a functional phrase. Labeling, name items, toys, food in his environment that he is looking at or playing with. Like normally we say the car, the ball, the piano, the aeroplane, and we name some label the toys. So these type of phrases are the functional phrases. Labeling action, utilize two-word phrases to describe simple actions. For example, ball up or ball in, or ball out or down. Or for example, ball or car, push the ball, push the ball, push the car, bounce the ball, or roll the ball. So these are the phrases which are going to function as when you are talking using fixed phrases. This may also be used during other activities like Joni eat, Aisha eat. So these are simple fixed phrases that we use in our conversation. Like disappearance, when something is taken away, or he or you are done playing with or eating something. Like this is the general example of a child. This can be done with any other person as well. Like all done, when we say like most of you when you in the class done with the assignment or the paper, you say I'm done or all done. So this is basically a functional fixed phrase. Or when all people are gone, or everything is end, you say like all gone. Or a simple, you may say bye bye. Or these types of phrases are basically the functional phrases that performs the function in a fixed phrase. That the bye bye means you are leaving something or someone is leaving you, so this is performing a function. All done means you have done with the action, with the task you are performing, you were performing before. Then turn taking, like when this is the example of a child, so like my turn, your turn, mommy's turn, or Johnny's turn. When even in your life, when you are playing or when you are talking to some other, you may just say my turn or your turn. So these are the functional phrases. Like if I say Aisha's turn, like student's turn, or if teacher's turn, your turn, my turn. So these are all the functional phrases that are performing some function in a conversation. These are not complete sentences, not clauses. Instead, they are chunks of multi-word chunks that are the fixed phrases and that are used to perform certain functions. So this is all about the lexical phrase and the functional phrases which we use in our daily life. And now we are going to practice on some tree diagrams that are used in the phrase structure grammar. So the first sentence is he looks a teacher. So in the very first, when you are analyzing your sentences, what you have to do is you have to write the very biggest unit, that is of the sentence. Then in sentence, what you have a noun phrase and then you have a verb phrase. Find a verb in the sentence and then divide the noun phrase and verb phrase. Then divide the constituents of noun phrase and then the constituents of the verb phrase. A noun phrase contains here only a noun, but a verb phrase contains a verb. Then again, a teacher is a noun phrase. Then we said a noun phrase. Then a noun phrase further contains a determiner and a noun. So first, see that what type of parts these contains. Then arrange them accordingly. And see the level of noun phrase and verb phrase is equal. The levels of noun and verb under the noun phrase and verb phrase are equal, and then noun phrase verb are equal. Then the determiner and noun are again the small constituents, so these are not on the level of the verb and noun phrase. These are the below. The determiner and noun are on the same level, so you have to be careful while drawing the tree diagrams to keep balance in the levels of the constituents. The second example is the horse is a faithful animal. So first is a sentence, the largest unit. Then find where is the verb. Verb is. So from is a faithful animal is a verb phrase. The horse is a noun phrase. Noun phrase, verb phrase. Then noun phrase further contains constituents that are the determiner and noun. And then the verb phrase again contains what? The verb. Then again a faithful animal is a noun phrase. Then a noun phrase contains what? The determiner, adjective and noun. See, the levels are equal. Noun phrase and verb phrase are on equal level. Then determiner, noun, verb and noun phrase are on the same level. Then again the determiner, adjective and noun are on the same level. The book in the shelf is informative. So is informative is a verb phrase. The book in the shelf is a complete noun phrase. So a noun phrase contains what? The determiner and a noun. Then again in the shelf is a prepositional phrase. So determiner, noun and prepositional phrase must be on the same level. Then what is what are the constituents of the prepositional phrase must come under these level, that is the preposition, determiner and noun on the same level. Then a verb phrase contains a verb and adjective on the same level. Then we have those type of sentences where we have two sentences together. I know he lives in Multan. So there are two verbs. So how we are going to handle it? We are going to take a sentence. Then a sentence is noun phrase and verb phrase. That is I know, a noun and a verb. Then for he lives in Multan, we have again the division of the noun phrase and verb phrase. So we take a note from the main a sentence, that is either we write S bar or it's complement phrase, either we write CP or S bar to show again the again process. And again we have the noun phrase, we have the verb phrase. Noun phrase is he lives in Multan is verb phrase, then verb phrase contains in Multan is prepositional phrase, then prepositional phrase contains further preposition and then the noun. So this is how you are going to handle these type of sentences. Then we have sentences where we have the conjunction. So Aslam and Akram are playing hockey. Are playing hockey is the verb phrase, Aslam and Akram is the noun phrase. Now here we have a conjunction. So what we do in the noun phrase, we add two another noun phrases, that is noun phrase bar by noun phrase bar. Then we have to place Aslam and Akram. Are playing hockey, are is an auxiliary, playing is main verb. Now then again hockey is a noun phrase, we add this is a noun. So when these type of sentences and in the noun phrases the nouns are combined together by conjunction, we make these type of sentences like by placing the noun phrase bar. There can be any, like Aisha and Ahmad, like Hassan and Ali, there can be any name, the football and car. So you have to handle these type of sentences in this way. The red book entertains the reader. Here entertains is a verb, the red book is the noun phrase, entertains the reader is the verb phrase. So then again divide the sentence into noun phrase and verb phrase. Then again the noun phrase is divided into determiner, adjective and a noun that are on the same level. Then a verb phrase is divided into a verb, and then the reader is a noun phrase that are on the same level. Then the noun phrase further contains constituents. What constituents? The determiner and the noun. Then again these are on the lower level. So you have in while drawing the tree diagrams in the phrase structure grammar or in the IC immediate constituent analysis, it is very important to keep balance the levels in your drawing. Like you have not to up and down the levels, you are not supposed to do this. You have to maintain the level of the constituents in your drawing when you are making the drawing. So this is all about your practice for the phrase structure and about the lexical and functional phrases. These are some references. From here you can get more detail as well, or for your convenience you can get the more data from the internet as well. So thank you. Allah Hafiz.